Hi, welcome to the Pole Shift News, the home of the Mathstar Observatory. Guys, I'm absolutely buzzing because it has not even been a week and we've already raised the money to build these muon detectors, which is going to give us an idea of how much cosmic radiation is in our atmosphere. And I'm hoping to put at least 10 of these around different locations around the world and get the data feeding back to us as we have done with the magnetometers. So what you're looking at is the populated boards. The only thing that's not on there is the Arduino Nano, the computer breakout board, the actual brain of the operation. But you can see all the different components that I'll be soldering on there. Now, I don't want to take anything away from the guy that designed and developed this. Spencer at MIT has put all this together, and it is very generous when someone goes to the length of what he has and then makes it open source. So I'm hoping to integrate a magnetometer circuit on board on top of this, but not just yet. For now, we just want to get these built and put out there. But I'm hoping to integrate the magnetometer to this as well and have it doing a little bit more than what it does already. But I will do the same as what Spencer's done at MIT. I'll make it all open source, and when we've built the very first one, I will put the gerbil files on there for you, so you can just get this file, take it to a manufacturer and have the PCB boards made yourself. I'll do some assembly videos. I'll also include the ones that Spence did as well, because they're very good, and I'll also include the program. So I'll put up everything on there, guys, just as Spence has, and keep it open source so that people that have an interest in cosmic radiation can just build these things if they really feel the need to. I mean, I will say this now, a lot of the components on board this are surface mount, and they're very tiny, and you need a little bit of skill, not lots and lots of skill, but you do need a relative amount of skill. You need to know how to put the program onto the breakout boards and things like that. There's a bit to learn, but it's not impossible, guys. If you remember a couple of years ago when I was building the TriMag, which is a little bit more complex than this if you think about it, because it's wireless for one. It took me a long time to learn, first of all, how to write the program, then how to get the components. There was a lot of mistakes made, and I dare say there'll be a couple of mistakes made here, and that's why I've ordered 20 of the boards, and they've come in at a cost of around about £340 or thereabouts. But like I say, we put the order in a few hours ago, and we've been told that we should have those within about 8 days. So I've got 8 days, as well as everything else, guys, that I'm doing at the moment. And trust me, around the observatory, it's getting very busy now. We're sending magnetometers out to Brazil, South Africa this week, hopefully. We're ordering all the other components, like the different value resistors, capacitors, LEDs, switches, all sorts of stuff to get these finished. And there's also some of these components you can't buy, you have to manufacture yourself. So there's quite a bit of work that's got to go into this. But I'll tell you what I want to do. I want to have at least a couple of these up and running for around about the 19th of September. Me and my partner, we're going on a flight. It's actually our honeymoon. I didn't tell you that really, but we're going on a 6-hour flight, and I want to put one of these in the hand luggage, and I want to monitor what the radiation is at around about 30,000 feet. And I do know from the example that I'm about to show you that it does increase with altitude. And I know that there's a couple of universities in America at the moment that are putting muon detectors on board weather balloons, because they can get really up high in the air and collect samples of radiation a lot higher than what aircraft go. So I do know that the higher you go, it increases exponentially the rate of muons and cosmic radiation. So but it's just I'm just curious to see how much is actually at an altitude of 37,000 feet, because I believe that that's what we'll be at for around about 6 hours. So if I can get one finished for at least the 19th of September, I think that gives us about 39 days, does it, or something like that off the top of my head. It would be fantastic, because not only will we have a couple of these PC boards finished, but we'll also be able to take one on a relatively long flight, and it will give us a good indication of how much radiation is at that height as compared to how much is at the floor. Now I'm going to show you just a sample rate of what the readings was on a flight, I think around about the same time. I think you can see the readings an hour before the flight, and I'll try and do this. I'll switch it on an hour before the flight, turn it off an hour after the flight, and there'll be a 6-hour interval in the middle at, I would have thought, after around about 40 minutes it'll probably get up to its maximum altitude that we're going to be at for the majority of the flight, and then it will come down to sea level again, and we can take a reading there. So let's have a look at that then, what it looks like when the aircraft goes in the air compared to how much cosmic radiation increases. Before we do, I hope I did mention it at the beginning of the video, big thanks to everybody that's supporting not just this project but the observatory as well. And yes, definitely I have got my arse into gear, and I have got out there straight away with ordering the components. And I know that there's a good reason, guys, why I've said that, and that person knows who he is. I can only say big thanks to you for what you've done this week. It's amazing, and I'm pretty sure everybody else is delighted in the fact that now we are going to be collecting the all important information, cosmic ray information. Now just tell me something, guys, why didn't we do this before? It's been in our face for the last year or so that cosmic radiations are the be all and end all of what's causing majority of the problems on this planet. And like I said, we're going to be talking about this on the Open Hammer Ranch tomorrow with Diamond, with relationship to some of the problems that cosmic rays cause to human beings, which I think you'll find very interesting. And yeah, let's get on with it. Let's have a look at this diagram in here. So here's those charts in here. As you can see, at takeoff there's very little cosmic radiation levels, but as it goes up, I think it went to around about 37,000 feet, not 100% sure, but as you can see from the right hand column, the count rate on the left, it almost goes up exponentially. So there's a lot more cosmic radiation at higher altitudes than there is at the ground floor. But guys, look at this next chart, because cosmic radiation is on the increase. As we can see, the last 3 solar cycles here, solar cycle, the beginning of solar cycle 24 is on here, then we've got solar cycle 23, 22, and just the end of solar cycle 21. But if you look at the chart below that, the darker grey region, you can see that after solar cycle 21 there was a little bit of cosmic radiation. Sunspots was a little bit less in solar cycle 22, but more cosmic radiation at the lower part of the trough of the solar cycles, where solar cycle 22 ends and 23 begins. And then at the end of solar cycle 23, look at the amount of radiation that's there as a result of low sunspot numbers. And this, as you'll see from the next chart, is only going to get worse, guys, and it's going to increase. So we really need to know how much cosmic radiation is at the surface and how fast it's increasing, because it's not just the grand solar cycles that are going to create more cosmic radiation. When the poles get to that probably all important 40 degree mark, the poles and the magnetosphere is going to collapse, and at that point we will be probably bombarded by cosmic radiation. So what we need to do is get our game plan together, guys. We've got probably 4 to 7 years before that happens, and we're not sure how strong solar cycle 25 is going to be if and if it does get started. So what we can say is that for sure we're going to have an increase in cosmic radiation. We need to know what it causes, how it causes it, what we can do to protect ourselves against it, and a lot of other things. And I think why we never started observing globally cosmic radiation before is a bit of a mystery, but at least we're doing something about it now, guys. And we're going to continue to do something. So for now, I'm going to be ordering the parts. We've got the PCB boards made. 8 days we'll have delivery of those. There's a lot of other little components that have got to come in before that, but we have got the major parts already purchased. And tomorrow, I should have had it today or tomorrow, it's always the way, isn't it? The piping for the cloud generator Now, if you don't know what we're doing there, it's another bit of a project that we've been on the back burner for the last 8 or so months. And not only do we want to take readings, as we are doing now, building the apparatus to do that, but we also want to give you visuals on what cosmic rays look like when they go through sub-zero temperatures around about -40 degrees through alcohol vapor. They leave a vapor trail and you can see them directly as they pass through it. So we're building the cloud chamber, you know, as well as these new cosmic ray generators, counters, sorry, and it gives you the best of both worlds. And as you guys know, there isn't another YouTube channel or a website which is publicly sharing this information with you guys. That will be collecting it globally as well, guys. So, you know, stay tuned and support the channel. It's got to be well worth it. I'm not going to say too much more other than, guys, stay tuned as and when you know, them pipes come in tomorrow. I'll get the organic amber out and I'll show you where we are. We'll have a little run test of the cloud chamber. We'll see what temperatures we're drawing down and whether we need to, you know, add more cooling systems to it to get them desired temperatures that we want. And meanwhile, I'll also keep you updated as to, you know, how we're doing with the gathering of these parts together now to build our cosmic ray detectors, or muon detectors, because it is, after all, the muons that are more abundant on the ground, and we're going to detect them more often than what we are cosmic rays, because, you know, for a cosmic ray to come through to the surface without colliding with anything is not impossible. You know, it's just rare, but it does happen on every daily basis. So it's just nice when you do catch one, and if you're very lucky, I know some people have, you might even collect a sample of a video of a cosmic ray strike coming through the cloud chamber, hitting another particle, and you'll see what exactly happens. Maybe we'll see a muon spring off of the collision as a result of that. So, you know, guys, it's all happening here right now. And like I say, we've also got 2 more magnetometers going out to Brazil and South Africa to add to the data that we already collect. And if you haven't been over to the website, now's a better chance than ever, guys. Why not go over there and have a look at what we're doing already? poleshiftnews.com. So, guys, if you want to help support what we're doing here, you know, there's a link down there. You can support us on Patreon, or you can make a one-off payment on PayPal. It's entirely up to you. But as always, guys, you know, I like to say this now, it's not compulsory, but we do have 25,000 subscribers, guys. And like I say, you can count the people in the last week that have jumped at the opportunity to support us on less than 2 hands. So there you go, guys. As always, you enjoy your week, and I'll be back. That's what I usually do. Bye for now.